I don't remember that happening, but I also don't normally sit with this up for 10-15 minutes. So, I mean, that could be from any number of things. Please, give this story an ending. Young girl, I beg of you. Please carry on my will to the end. And then we have a color-inverted version of our protagonist going up. Now, we can see that there's Laylaria here, doing something suspicious, but if we were to talk to her, we wouldn't actually receive any benefit. To be able to get what she's hiding, or rather, get what she is interacting with, we need to head over to the Demon King Castle. Now, because I actually remembered to start this up with a locale emulator, we have the Japanese text, meaning, I assume, the same thing, underneath. Now, if I hadn't fucked with the save files, not save files, if I hadn't fucked with the files in the first place, that wouldn't matter. But I did, so we can have those pop up. Now, these things are really not intended to be dangerous. Theoretically, if you manage to get them stacked up so you're dealing with all of them at the same time, I think the most damage you could really take is about 6. Maybe a tiny bit more. The goal of the game is to find an ending to the unfinished Demon King Chronicle story. Pretty simple. Oops. And well, I'll just show it. We have 3 all-purpose slots. Now, the hair is useful, but right now it would very quickly kill us. And weapons and armor can go into those anything, all-purpose, etc. slots. I think what I called them before was the accessory slot. But armor and weapons can only gain levels in their actual equipment slots. The mole is indeed busy now. As per his name, he is digging. Now everybody has a little nameplate next to their room. This one did not have a nameplate when we came up, but it does now, telling us the name of our protagonist, Camille. Now that's not the name of her in the Japanese version, which is interesting. If we hadn't gone and done the Demon King Castle first, that's all we would get. Would you like to read a story? Why don't you pick a time when everyone is in and try visiting their rooms? And once we get 25 attack power, we can open that, which probably has a glass fragment. This isn't some me being a sarcastic shit thing. I think something like almost 60% of all chests in the game contain glass fragments. As I gaze upon the flow of the river, I find myself at peace. This quiet flow returns to the ocean. and eventually reaches the continent. I believe that the Demon King Chronicle made its way to the continent riding this current. Now this is information we don't really have any knowledge about because we're really not supposed to go this way. This is a little bit later than we are really kind of supposed to be. Also, notable, there's no nameplate here. There are a few of these, and I believe all of them, to a T, are Randolph's. This way might be a bit dangerous. And he just says the same thing. Some people have unique dialogue for their second time speaking, some people do not. But anytime we meet, I'm just gonna be flat. Anytime we meet Kumo, Nana, or Randolph out in the world, we first time we talk to them, we get a glass fragment. This is very useful eventually. I'm actually tempted to put that third glass fragment on, but I kind of want to level up the millet for now. Now, you can see that yellow bar kind of filling in on the health. That is health that we regenerate. It just regenerates over time, it's not by walking, thankfully. Because there are going to be some times where walking is dangerous, but sitting still is not. And of course the rats hit a little bit hard. Next one we kill, we will gain a level, but no guarantees that next one we fight we'll be able to kill. Gold, which we haven't seen a use for, but now, I sort of remember where the hell I'm going. Sort of. I remember vaguely that it's up. Yeah, of course. I also don't fully remember the, size of the encounter box. Want to hear something interesting? This is supposed to be the Demon King's castle. Forgetting reality and immersing oneself in illusions. Stories really are amazing. I also like that Nana really, right from the word go, kind of establishes herself as a gigantic nerd. Pretty much everybody else is going to be a gigantic idiot, so her being nerdy is interesting. Also, we can see, I think this one is intentional because, well, normally they don't operate like that, and I don't give a shit about getting hit by a dagger. 1, 5 health's not a big loss. 2, I can heal. Just right outside. And we have a fair number of fragments. Which is good. It'll be useful when we go the fuck home. Aaron. Buying your used crap since 1982. So there are 2 types of bottles here. There's the stamina restore and the energy restore. Gonna show off both real quick. Let's unequip just so it So the Stamina Restore fully restores health. That's all it does. Conversely, the Energy Restore provides some skill, provides a little bit of agility, and SP. Now, it sounds similar, but it only restores like, I don't know, a quarter of your health. It's not as good, generally speaking. I'm not really concerned about leveling up the millet. It's not like a good item or anything. Why don't you have a look around? Hey there, nice to meet you. I'll teach you some magic at no charge. Camille learned the skill Fire Wave. And for the record, I was doing my best kind of Stan impersonation. Use it in battle by choosing the skill command. Because, well, we'll get into it eventually. This is the most important item in this entire goddamn shop. We're gonna want those pajamas soon. We could... I mean, we only really have the millet to sell. Eventually we'll start getting, dropped items, and those are really what you're intended to be selling. And this is a good, coming up here is actually a good way to show that, you know, we are really not supposed to be over here yet. Up is actually even worse, because we're at the end of the area, so... No, I believe that frog is the same as literally any other frog in this area, but red. And no, this is not. But now that we've gained a level, now that we do a little bit more damage, sometimes, as we proceed to not do more damage during that fight. Theoretically, now that we do more damage, we can more safely take on the rats, but really, it's not going to be until we have about, I'd say probably 2 levels on the glass fragment, where we will really be safe taking on rats. I don't know why I grabbed that one so quick. Force of habit, thinking rats are nothing. I think I got everything from these areas. And we can't go up there and talk to the masked man. Ah, rat meat. It is ever so slightly worse than the stamina restore as far as increasing our max HP. Which also kind of means that it's not very useful right now. Like, sure, if we didn't... You know, if we wanted to make sure that we had the stamina restore available, but... We're probably going to be, in one form or another, having that stamina restore equipped for a while. Just to maximize Camille's max health. Also, I didn't bring it up prior, but there are... each time an item levels up, it increases by a relatively small amount, generally speaking, in efficacy. The problem is the number of fights that requires. With the first level being 10 fights, the second level being 50, and the third and final level being 100. Frankly, I think 10, 25, 50 would have been sufficient, but honestly, it's pretty rare that your equipment's going to be low level in the first place, so it's not a huge deal. And you probably noticed this red triangle. So slightly wet. We are not carrying any magic beans. Damn it. Now this one's not a huge deal now. And indeed, I'll probably need to grind it out later when I do want to fight the enemy in question. But I'm going to do my best to avoid running into that. We have 50, that means we can get armor. So, as armor, it helps. I mean, 2 defense isn't going to be doing a hell of a lot for us, but I'm going this way mostly to show off how much it does for us. Reduces the damage taken by about 1. Which, if we had gotten it prior to getting this most recent level, would, generally speaking, mean that we are in heal-off range. But the level also did plenty for us that way, so... So I didn't cover it, but generally speaking, the enemies have some sort of relation to their overworld sprite. What? Oh, the stamina restore. I say generally speaking because it's not always the case that it's, you know, like one-to-one like these rats are. That's not to say that the game does a poor job with it later, it's mostly just sometimes it's really close, sometimes it isn't. We are not going to be getting into the point of it being inaccurate this time. So if we don't crit, those enemies are obviously considerably more dangerous. And this one's a pretty basic. Can you solve basic puzzles? And the reward is a magic beam. Now, I'm not real sure if I want to use it on that, dang it, on that first magic bean spot that we have access to. We are going to want that filled eventually. And it's a solid candidate, there's some good stuff behind it. And if we don't do it, it can be very annoying. Hey, look, it's a room of death. I'm gonna heal up using this rat and see how we fare against the red one. I think we should be fine against one. Should be fine. Note how it looks the same. Called a ferocious rat. Without the crit, we'd have been in a lot worse shape. The frogs are also kind of inconsistently aggressive. Feels like they're generally headed towards you, but these knives do more than the 5 damage of before. Also, I should really get into a fight with a rat just for healing purposes. In fact, generally speaking, that's what a lot of the base level regular enemy encounters get used for, usually pretty quickly into an area. Sometimes they're difficult for a while. Sometimes certain ones are difficult for a while. But generally speaking, they are man, we are a ways off of that. They're not too bad. As can be seen here, where a level up from the armor actually is the difference between the frog encounter doing damage and not. Now, eventually, once we are more capable, we are going to want to regularly do fights where we are grabbing a whole bunch of enemies. Obviously, that's not the case now. 1 gold. Again, just a puzzle. Can you figure it out? And our first red chest. Oof. The karate chopstick. A little bit of attack for losing a fair amount of range. Now, the problem here actually exists that when we go down and fight these now, and this is a trap of sort, we can't hit both. Now, obviously, this isn't a huge deal because if we roll high on our damage, we are still doing enough damage to kill one in one hit, but if you weren't as leveled as us, if you didn't have two glass fragments equipped, that can definitely be dangerous. If you don't have a free stamina restore on you. You know, if you're trying to do the whole castle in one go. It can definitely end up being dangerous. Now, the defense is actually interesting, and one of the reasons even relatively small amounts of defense do a lot at this level is that it's a straight one-to-one add-subtract. Obviously that's not the case with attack power, or maybe it's just not the case due to the way enemy armor works, but that is the way player armor works. So, another level from, well, another 2 levels from Fine Pajamas, and basically nothing here will be able to do damage. In fact, I'm reasonably certain that... Oh, I'm actually incorrect. I was thinking this was the same basic-ass frog as All It Well. It's not really showing that it's not. It has a little bit more HP. But I'm pretty sure the basic enemies up here are actually more dangerous than that was. Were that we could knock over that barrel. So the basic enemies here are interesting in that they become a little bit more active when you get into combat. Also, they really want you to have 1 armor into a fair bit of it. Now, they look like squirrels, but, you know, I'm not gonna fault them for calling them monkeys, because the little sprite in combat doesn't look that different. Next level we get on the... I don't remember what the frogs are. Oh, I guess they're turtles. I think they do high damage, but, well, higher damage, but since they only attack once, their danger is mostly in the amount of health they have. And the red one would be very dangerous. Surprising no one. Now, generally speaking, there are 3 types of enemies as far as how well they stick around, etc. goes. There are enemies that are one-time. I believe the red frog that we encountered here is a one-time encounter. There are enemies that when you kill them go away for a while. The red enemies that we've encountered to date have operated thus. I guess, obviously, excepting the giant frog. Man, when we roll poorly on the damage for monkeys, or rather, when we roll poorly and the monkey rolls well, that makes that fight a fair bit more dangerous. Now, should only be a few more fights away. A level on the karate chopstick will make that a little bit better, but not a huge amount. It's still only going to be +1. Oh, and I didn't think to show the what the karate chopstick does as a accessory. So it is basically a glass fragment with an additional ability. Now that extra attack +1 is extremely powerful, but it only activates at the percentage of your agility. So in our case it'd be 30%. But it also can activate on other abilities. Now we haven't seen other abilities. Nice. But eventually we'll have access to things like... Oh, didn't remember that one was actually there. I just knew that sometimes there's stuff behind those, and since there was a long path, kinda figured. This one's actually real dangerous to do a deep dive on. The castle kinda gets it into your head that, you know, maybe it's not the worst idea. And then there's this one. This is probably death. If I roll well here. Well, I seem to recall the turtle shell being... Yeah. So Sporadic Guard's another one that it's activated by agility %, but the defense alone actually makes that worthwhile. Now it'll take a while because the SP recovers so slowly, it'll take some fights for that to get back, but generally speaking, we're only going to be taking one or... I don't remember what Turtle Blood does. 1 or 2 damage from most of these things anyway. Turtle Blood's also got some defense to it. Oh, I guess I was mistaken. No. Oh, we also got another level on the glass fragments. I was sitting there wondering why we were at a couple points higher than I expected. Now, unfortunately, it's not always 1-to-1 on everything. Also, some people dislike the music for this area. Genuinely, before I... it used to be a lot worse. I'll leave it at that. If you download the game yourself, it is like twice as loud as any other piece of music in the game. It is bad. It is rough. Say, Libby. But interestingly, the turtles, which were basically the considerably more dangerous enemy of the two, have quickly become just not that dangerous anymore. Now these turtles, still rough. But, I mean, they also go away for a while. So what I'm after here is that well. I believe we can go down it. And I believe it's just an item, which means it's probably just a glass fragment. I'm not even correct about being able to go down it. Excellent. Well, I'm already back here. The red enemies will stay dead for a while, so... no reason not to come back, save, heal. The turtle blood has some advantages. I am going to want to keep one. We can open this chest. I believe that's just, yeah, effectively similar to a glass fragment, but not something that you, similar to a stamina restore, but not something you're gonna have excess of. We are going to want to get that as soon as possible. The Fire Emperor's sword is okay, but I think I'm going to pass on it to get the Birdwing a little bit sooner. Also, I don't... how much is the kitchen? So it's going to be the next item to get. So that range, mentioning 360 for full range, that's nice. That literally is impossible. You don't get anything that increases range. There's no set path. That's basically a lie. Follow your own instinct and complete the various goals in the game at your own pace. So the reason we wanted the mirror... wait, what? I don't remember even encountering 3 or more enemies. Now this is the real gold sink of the game. Pretty obviously, we are going to want to have one of those be crit. Camille is... well, I mean, pretty obviously, she is our only character. So, she needs to do more damage. By viewing memories, new skills can be learned. Skill points are necessary to learn new abilities. Skill points can be gained by clearing certain objectives. Now, we don't get hints as to those objectives. Now, we sort of do encounter more than 4 enemies, get more than 3 enemies with 1 attack, but generally speaking, we're actually going to unlock them sort of naturally. What? I'm busy right now. You want something I dug up, just take it, alright? And if you're wondering if I'm going to have any consistency with voices, no. Actually. Demon King Chronicle Chapter 3, Snow. Looks to be the remains of an old book. Now that doesn't seem like anything special, but it will sort of eventually. Again, Randolph is speaking without a text box signifying who he is. And if you're wondering if that roast rat would be a good reason to keep rat meat around, the answer really is no. It might sell for slightly more than the rat meat does base, but... Now, one thing I'm actually kind of surprised by, given that the luck we've had with drops so far, is that we don't have a drop from the monkey. Thing. So that +2 is you get a bonus for taking on multiple enemies. You also have a bonus to drop rate. So it's one of those things of the game really tries to encourage it, but it's frequently still not a good idea. I think that was the pajamas? Yeah. Another point of defense is good. And this is going to be annoying. The additional point of defense is doing a lot of work for us here. And, of course, after I complain about it, we get 2 of them. Now, the reason why we want them is they provide attack and crit. And once they get just a single level, they'll be better than these glass fragments. Well, dang, if the game is going to let me get away without using a second fire wave, I will definitely try to avoid it. Especially since there's a lot of them in here. Since the way back is mostly clear, I'm fine with using the stamina restores. We can get back to full health here. So this is the other spot where we would potentially want to use the magic bean, and since I've, well, not used it yet, I think this is where we are going to use it. That was a nice level. We got 3 attack out of it. I don't know how visible it is on the video. I'm not looking up to check very frequently. So on the sides, I think the monkeys can get to us, but at the top they cannot. Now I'm gonna regret this later when I need one of the items that's at the top of the first one, but you know, for now, once we can get there, I'll be, you know, real happy, because that's another weapon. Nolanus. Very ill-tempered person normally, he's renowned as a soldier who has a strict sense of duty. He was originally taken in and owes his current position to Zelfi, who does not discriminate soldiers by their upbringing or ancestry. He's well trusted by his men. And obviously it's not a quick growing thing. I always forget about that. We can hold shift to see our current stats. I think we're only 1 or 2 fights away from leveling up that monkey tail. So probably when we kill this red one? If not, it'll be the either the monkey or the normal one down below. Yeah, I guess I just wasn't kind of lost track of how many fights we'd been in. Is it 15 instead of 10? Might be 15 instead of 10. One additional disadvantage of fighting multiple enemies at the same time is that they don't count for multiple fights as far as the gear is concerned. It must be 15. I don't know if that... The problem is that I know sometimes things like that pot would be items that you can check, would have an item in it. Probably just be a glass fragment, but... Doesn't really matter what the item is. Okay. We have done enough searching here. Let's... If the monkey will step over. There we go. And now in 35 fights, it will have leveled up again and be even better. It's interesting how, having gotten lucky with the turtle blood drop, I'm just generally not that concerned with the red enemies anymore. well, the standard red enemies. The red enemies we have encountered to date. See, like, that's a pot I know we can break. But we don't actually have a way into up there from down here, so not really not a huge concern right now. Not when we've still got exploring to do. And I think that's a way back down below us. It's either a way back or another, like, lore type room. If it is a way back, then doing this doesn't... well, okay. They're monkeys, they can't do enough damage for them to matter anyway. Not when I'm guarding 3/4 of their attacks anyway. But... As incorrect, this is the way back. So, the Scaly Seeking quote. Once we get that final level for the Fine Pajamas, will be fantastic for us. But as a all-purpose, it does increase attack, but it doesn't do anything for defense. And in fact, makes you take more damage. It really kind of makes it a rough sell, especially early on. I have no idea why we can exit out the bottom there. Dang. Yeah, we want to go in there anyway. Now the interesting thing is that something I didn't notice hugely is the game isn't really setting us up for success with using this pre-fight color change the way it will kind of demand of us later. But I suppose that's because things like that barrel are obviously different. And when it's going to demand use of that color change to identify things that you can interact with, well, it'll be one identical item, otherwise identical item in a group. So the salad is pretty good. Doesn't provide any attack, but a bit of HP, a bit of SP, a bit of defense. Unfortunately, we have both turtle blood and, well, perhaps more importantly, the turtle shell. And see, the pots, they're not red. They are colored differently from other pots. It's just not super obvious why, until we get to a later point where it actually matters. Also, at 7 defense, sometimes we don't even need the guard to go off to decrease the damage to 0. And we are base above 30 attack now, so we could go get the chest in the castle. We're forced to abandon this town now. That's it. That's all it says. That's the entirety of that book. They got a diary, wrote one fucking sentence in it, and died. Or left. I imagine that probably looks even worse in the Japanese, where it's probably like 5 or 6 characters. So the big thing with jerky is it prevents poison. That's what that... I'm pretty sure that's what that Japanese is saying. But of course, if you're not playing it with the locale emulator, what you see is it says poison. And so you eventually just need to figure out, oh, hey, it says poison, it prevents those things. Oh, nice, another level 4, I think, what was the... no? Shell? I think it has to be Shell. You're not from the continent, are you? For whose sake and for what purpose are you creating this story? So Randall, he of not having a nameplate, seems to be the only one who seems to recognize Camille's power. Alma, one of Zelfi's right-hand men. He's well known for his leadership and skill at commanding men into battle. He originally met Zelfi as an enemy general on opposing sides of the battlefield, but was recruited by Zelfi afterwards. So, if you're just kind of going by broad strokes, doesn't seem hugely different from Milanos. And this is the other exit that we could have gone out from before. They meet with each other. Oh, there we go. There are the fast fuckers. Those, that red monkey, you'll notice, doesn't normally move very quickly. Also, he hits like a fucking truck. I think sometimes gets 3 hits. It might just be misremembering on my part, but... easy to see why it's a hell of a lot more dangerous than its actually red brethren. Well, we killed one, and that makes this area a little bit safer. Unfortunately, this column is too wide, so... Oh hey, we got the monkey paw, which You might be thinking, oh, is it going to be like a better version of the monkey tail? No. It is strictly an HP item. And if you're sitting there thinking, well dang, that kind of sucks. Yes, it does. And it's super dangerous for us to fight in there because there's 2 red monkeys. Now this is an area we desperately want inside. Now there's actually 2 reasons for that. The secondary one is you can kind of see that on the right side, this wall doesn't go all the way to the base wall. It sort of looks like it on this side as well, but that's not where you can actually enter. And also I want that stack of books. You might be thinking, oh, just enter the fucking front door, forehead. Yeah. Those, that nearly infinite stack of rats that it just summoned, they're stronger than the red monkeys. Speaking of things I don't want to encounter, I mean, if they were stacked up, the red monkeys wouldn't be that dangerous. There we go. Oh, this actually could be real bad. Yep. I thought I had 10 health, not 8. Fortunately, the only thing we really got out of that was the monkey ball. Oh yeah, I wanted to grab the stuff from up top. Now, one thing I'm going to mention, because it's theoretically exploitable, not because it's, like, usefully exploitable, is that when you are in that pre-combat phase, you don't set off little floor triggers. There's a monkey in there that occasionally gets close enough to the wall up here that you can go in. Without setting off that floor trigger. Needless to say, though, that's kind of questionable value. Okay, so 2 fire waves will kill one. which takes them out in 1 turn instead of 2. But if I was going to show that to you, and I'll probably go back to show off. Well, no, I don't like having deaths on the fucking record. Neat. They've created a situation where I really don't want to walk up into where those are. I do like that sometimes the pathfinding just can't figure certain things out. Oh nice, the pajamas finished leveling up, which means we can have a lot more defense in exchange for some attack. Now, I'm going to show off how useful that is. It makes these guys a little bit more manageable, but we can't kill them in 3 turns consistently. So we'll want to use a fire wave on them. But that won't be a huge deal once we get another level for the monkey tail and karate chopstick. Or a level for the sequin coat. Either or. And I'm pretty sure it means that the base enemies can no longer do damage to us. And this is how we get into the area that we saw before. Also, I don't think these guys will do very much damage to us either. Probably 4? If we don't guard. But we guard 40% of the time. Which is a pretty decent increase from guarding 30% of the time. Girding. I think this area is supposed to be sort of dangerous, because of the fact that it makes you go around both sides of the table to get. But even if the enemies are sort of dangerous, the turtles especially just aren't very active. And if you're having trouble with the monkeys, I don't know how you would have gotten this far. I think we've done everything to the left here. Yeah. I am gonna want to grab that red one just to... Dang it. The concern was basically preventing it from becoming a bigger problem. Oops. Targeted the wrong enemy. Didn't realize the target would reset. Now eventually we will get things that increase the amount of... or increase the max amount we can recover post-battle. But they're not really going to increase the absolute percentage. Post-battle recovery is always going to be slow. It's always going to be annoying. So I wanted to save because this area, you know, you can see there's armor there. We obviously want that armor. Also, we could see if the thing had grown in yet. Which I'm pretty sure is the real reason that that little kind of cutaway exists. But no, the thing of interest over here is that it's guarded. Oh, it's guarded by a black enemy. Obviously, that's going to be relatively easy, right? Yeah, absolutely not. It would kick our ass 7 ways from Sunday. This is a very quiet place. When I come here, my heart's put at ease. It really is quiet here. I wonder where all the people went. Nana, they fucking died. Probably killed by this shitheel. Like, I'm pretty sure even once I have otherwise finished the next area, we will not be strong enough to beat that scorpion. So those are done up the same way as these, but actually gives a message letting you know, hey, it's a later area. Also, because we haven't come back in a while, we missed something. There would be a flower here if we had come back earlier. And Laylaria would mention that it's probably our namesake. You know, instead she mentions, oh, the flowers have been trampled on, it's so horrible. And if we were to talk to him, I believe more plot would happen. But I don't want plot to happen right now. Yeah, I think that's good. We want to turn in a whole bunch of those. Debatable. Oops. I always forget that we can't just turn all of them in. So now we have more than twice as many. We may as well have a couple energy restores. You can create items using recipes you've obtained. Recipes can be found dropped in a variety of places. Yeah, I accidentally did that. Continuing to use the same equipment, you can raise a proficiency with it. Stats on each item increase accordingly. When you raise your proficiency with an item, a star will be displayed next to its icon. However, you must equip weapons in the weapon slot and equip armor in the armor slot in order for their proficiency to increase. Now, there actually is... somewhere around here, I have my notes on it. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, here we go. Huh. I got confused for a sec. Basically, your normal weapons increase by 0.2%, so multiply by 1.2%. With the final result being 1.6 times their base stats. Roughly. I can't remember if it's 1.6 or 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2. It's not a huge difference either way. I'm pretty sure it is the former. Because I know there are some pieces later that have, one, have higher base stats, and two, have higher multipliers. And if you're sitting there thinking, man, that is going to be a real annoying one every time we have to do it, the game knows. Up. Path to a mountain with a great view. Right. Path to a mountain with a crap view. Well... Randolph ... at us. So I'm pretty sure the wolves are actually kind of a pain. I don't remember exactly, though. It might be that the monkeys are actually the pain. Might be that everything's kind of a pain. Might be that everything's kind of a pain. And that wasn't even really taking on more than we can handle. Now, I don't remember where that, chest we need to hit to get open is... But, given how little damage these now do to us, and that their drop is just an HP item, now, one thing that is possible to do, and that I might occasionally do by accident, is if I hit shift, it does get rid of that. And that's useful on some occasions if I need to see something a little bit better. But... it's not something that I think I found all that useful 90% of the time. Most of the time it was just, okay, what button do I need to hit to bring it back? And yes, we are doing all of this for, assuming I'm going the correct direction, 2 chests. Yeah, because the other one's over here. I don't think there's anything further on anyway. Reasonably sure I cleared this out, but due to being overpowered for the area, it's not like it takes all that long. Nope. Nothing of interest. And I think I grabbed the doors up on the top when I was first going? Yeah. Pretty sure that's everything. And while some time has passed, mostly the only thing that's, I think, enough time has passed for is I think the red enemies here have respawned. But it won't take long to actually see. Yeah. And I think the amount of time it takes for that to happen is roughly equal to 1 cycle for the vines. And I believe the vines have, God, some stupid amount of fucking cycles. So I think it takes about an hour in total. It definitely hasn't been long enough, but I'm still gonna go over and check. Oh hey, even the ones here have... Might be pretty close even if it hasn't actually, finished. Always interesting when an area is still current but not okay, so it's not finished, but anyway, as I was saying, area is still current but the more difficult enemies still can't actually damage you. It's also weird to me that we can't just walk over these corners. Okay, so I was wrong. This one doesn't actually show. I don't know why this one doesn't show. Basically every other one does show. So this is an improvement just flat out. If we needed the extra attack, the chopstick would be a good all-purpose, but we don't. Mostly because the Caldolade takes care of that for us. And we lucked out with showing that what that extra attack +1 actually does right away. So let's get back to save area. I think the not the regular monkeys, but the red monkeys will still be a little bit annoying because they can actually do damage. I can check. Maybe up to 3? Not a huge amount. With some poor luck or with a bad hit, could still be enough to be more than what we could heal off. Which is why I'm going to do the very clever thing of checking what is in here. Now, one thing I do know is real good with the extra attack +1 is that if the enemy you're attacking dies, it will swap to a new one. This spot, though, may as well show. Gonna drop a save over here first, but... Oh man, even the ones over here have respawned. I guess going through the Demon King Castle again took a little bit more time than I thought it did. But since I know I am going to die very quickly over here. It surprises me when we have little, like, spots of grass and such. Hey! It required 2 of them to attack. And the scorpion that's guarding things over this way would pretty much be the same thing. I don't think it has 5 attacks, but it doesn't need them. Now, having walked through there, I am going to step back to save so I don't need to make that long walk again. Let's get our glass fragment. And maybe there aren't monkeys over on this side? No, there still are. There aren't quite as many. I'm not sure which... Oh. Well, that tells me which one of the two is the one I actually want to be going after. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I know there's a hidden enemy in one of these maps. And I say hidden, I actually genuinely mean hidden. It is a white sprited enemy on the snowy background. Actually, if I can avoid a fight for a bit. Or just get into a fight with only a mutt. Good enough. And this is another spot for a magic bean. I'll see if I can show it, but oh Jesus. What's up there is a fight, basically. As you can see. Now, the enemy up there does not respawn, and I believe it's not. The enemy in question isn't anything special. But, it's been a while since I've done that, so... I was about to complain about my luck there with 3 without doubles, but really that's perfectly within reason. 40% is not exactly the highest percent. This area I am considerably less certain as to where, well, I sorta know where I'm going. I did fuck up at the start by not going to the mountain with a great view, because I misremembered which one is the way we wanted to go. And I think I have done that every time I've played. My memory is just trash. Fortunately, we don't need to avoid the monkeys until we get into the pre-fight with the mutts. I think the monkeys are the ones that drop the apple. Yeah, because the bushy tail is the mutts drop. Well, that's not great. Yeah, at least I have plenty of healing items. I say, showing off that I do not in fact have plenty of healing items. Although for this game, 3 is a lot. think... I don't remember how bad this is. The answer appears to be not bad at all. Well, I don't really care about the coat as an all-purpose. Oh, I should probably show off what it does as an all-purpose. So, a little bit of attack, a little bit of crit, a little bit of agility, and actually a pretty decent chunk of defense. It is... While the numbers are small, it's something that'll probably be reasonably useful for a while. Okay, when we don't get lucky with guards, the those blue mutts actually do hit pretty hard. And this is the spot back to here. Additionally, when we step up through here and walk over, we're going to see Randolph leave. I'm heading to the mountain where the white dragon lives. And let's read the diary, since we've gotten them all unlocked. X month, X day. Looks like he can't sleep tonight. Just like always, I start reading the story of the white dragon to him. Normally, he's such an apathetic kid, but when he hears this story, his eyes light up. When the hero defeats the dragon, he's usually already fast asleep. It's been exactly 4 years since I took him in. His body's still a little on the weak side. I want to raise him to be strong. X month, X day. He used to be such a careless boy, but now he's grown quite fearless. I wonder what changed him. Maybe his new interest in sword fighting? Rare to see a thief swinging his sword around. Kid's still shy and afraid of strangers, so he always hides behind me when someone visits. X month, X day. I parted ways with Aritz. Though he was scared at first, even my kid warmed up to Aritz. He even looked a little sad when he left. Still the only one who can read his expressions, though. By the way, I received a book from Aritz. He said it should be right up my alley. At least I'll have a new story to read to the kid. I'll read it to him later. P.S. I just wrote about a book, but on closer inspection, it's not even actually a full book. There's only 3 chapters to it. I think he just pawned some of his crap off on me. X month, X day. Randolph had his 10th birthday. By the way, I'm treating the kid's birthday as the day I found him. You compare him to before, he's gotten a lot tougher. I'm very proud of him. I'm still reading that book to him, the one I got from Aritz before he left. A story about a hero who defeats a dragon. It's similar to the story of the white dragon, but Randolph still seems to enjoy it. I want him to grow up to be strong enough to defeat a dragon. X month, X day. It's been 18 years since I left the village. I guess I'm starting to feel homesick. Returning to the village and living with Randolph in peace doesn't sound too bad. I've been thinking like that lately. I'm sure everyone from the village would accept Randolph with open arms. This is the last entry in the diary. So... knowing that about Randolph, which admittedly is not a lot, oh yeah, I should probably show off what the tail and apple do. The tail's another HP item. The apple's another poison item. We'll want to have some number of poison items for the next area. Well, the area after well, I don't know. Poison's annoying, it can kill, but it's not hugely dangerous. And right now, the money is probably more worthwhile. I say this even though we are well short of the Varnish Birdwing. I could pick up the Fire Emperor's sword. It would not be the worst investment. Oh, actually though, I have money. Break time. Want to hear a story? I see. There used to be a man I was greatly indebted to. I challenged him to a fight. And I was defeated. These scars are a constant reminder. Do you understand my history now? I see. So we should have a few more achievements. Survive 150 battles. 30 treasure chests. And with our 4 points and 350 gold, we can get some more things. Now, 3 crit. That's a lot now. That's gonna stay, you know, a decent chunk. These, they're never gonna be that relevant. Blue. I wonder who that could be. Similarly, the agility up is always going to be useful. Now we don't have the money for anything in here. Flame Fang, a support ability, damage ability. Slap on the back is interesting because, you know, you'd think that something that recovers from ailments and such would, you know, that's all it does, but it actually does like a point or two of damage. Shout is one of the most important abilities in the game. Alongside, I think Water Boy Resolve is targeted. Watery Boy. If I'm incorrect, Water Boy Resolve is not as good as I'm giving it credit for, but I know Shout is super, super good. And the chapter there that I kind of scrubbed past because 99% of the time you don't have little things like that, was deep in the snowfield. Or snowstorm. I think snowstorm. Now the HP side won't do a whole lot yet. The SP side, though, well, oh yeah, we never refilled our bottles. I should go back and do that. No, sometime. It's not like super urgent. Aha, I get fucked, game. Aha, I get fucked, lore. Now, of course, one of the nice things is that if we do get 2 attacks off, we will tend to do more damage than, Now, the fast attack part of it is sort of useful. Mostly it's useful to offset something that has slow attack, which is an effect we've not seen yet. Yeah, it looks like there's not any monkeys on this map. Weird. Is that doable? Almost. Wait. Yes. The hell did I have equipped? No, turtle shell. So this is what I meant by the next area. Now I seem to recall the red enemies here are quite dangerous, which is unfortunate because there's a fucking lot of them. But it's not like the regular enemies are not dangerous, as they proceed to utterly kick my ass. Wait, what? I don't know why that one always sounds that. Anyway, I think I'm going to get back to the snowfields. Save. Oh, this one's actually a different one than I was thinking it was. I was thinking there was going to be someone here. But that's a different spot than I was thinking it was. Good to know. But not actually useful for right now. In fact, actually, for where we want to go, this is actually more useful. But that's for next time. Hope you have a fantastic day. Well, rest of the day. Unless you're, not, like, American, in which case, still full-ass day.